Hello, fourth graders. I am so glad to be visiting with you again today. This week, I'm hoping to wrap up The Planets by Gustav Holst. We have our final two movements that we need to talk about and get you to be able to listen to. And then we're going to talk about Recorder. It's been a whole month, actually, but a bit more than that, since we last talked about Recorder, and I've got some exciting new things there to show you. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about the video of the week, Mrs. Lippert's video of the week. Those three things are going to take us quite a bit of time, so let's get started. So, The Planets by Gustav Holst, one of my favorite pieces of music. And I thought you might be interested in seeing something. I went onto one of my bookshelves, and this is an old-fashioned record. This is the way we used to listen to music years ago, before we could do it on the internet. And I'm going to show you what a record looks like. But this cover, isn't it beautiful? It's got that kind of cool, foily kind of look, and it's The Planets, by Holst. And inside, it's like a giant envelope. So you pull out the actual record, and this is the record. It's actually in what we call a sleeve to protect it. And the reason we want to protect it is you want to protect it from scratches. Now, I think this one's gotten a lot of scratches because I listen to it a lot on what we call a record player, phonograph. But if you look, and I think you can kind of see when I do this, there's parts of this, it's actually plastic, that has, these are grooves. It doesn't look as shiny as the edge or the center. And it's two-sided. There's half of the planets are on one side and the other half is on the other. And what they've done is they had a machine that actually puts in these grooves, and what happens on a phonograph is there is a needle that comes down and it goes through those grooves and it vibrates. And that vibration then is taken up into the phonograph and it's translated into sound to us. Our technology now is all electronic, so we don't have to do that. This particular record was produced by a company that's no longer in business. It's called Deutsche Grammophon. Deutsche Grammophon. Deutsche meaning German, Grammophon meaning phonograph. And so, but what's really neat is this particular recording was done by our very own Boston Symphony Orchestra here in the United States. So, very fun to listen to and on the old-fashioned record. But you are listening to it online. And so let's talk about this Gustav Holst, The Planets. First of all, Gustav Holst was an English man, and he composed these movements. It's a 7-movement work. So the whole piece is called a symphony. Each of the little planets are called a movement. So there were 7 movements. At that time, there were 8 planets. He didn't do Earth, and we only had up to Neptune. And of course, now Pluto is called a mini planet or dwarf planet, rather. And so, but anyway, at that time, it was Neptune is the furthest from the sun. So we had 7 planets in this symphony. The first planet that he started with, even though it's not the one closest to the sun, was Mars. And so this is the one that is so intense. It's got what we call a subtitle called The Bringer of War. And it is very intense piece of music. I think you're going to find it really interesting. You know, in our recorder class, when we've been playing our recorders, we've been playing music that has 4 beats in a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, in this piece of music, Mars, the Bringer of War, it actually has 5 beats in a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it kind of feels kind of weird, like lopsided, edgy. And edgy is exactly what Gustav Holst wanted his listeners to feel. And that's why he did 5/4 time signature. They call that a time signature. So it'll be the very first one up on our recording. And again, that link is going to be down below so you can click on it. And if it doesn't appear right away, open up where it says the word see more, click on see more, and it will open it up so that you can find the link to the planets, and it's the first movement. Then we're going to end with the last movement, Neptune. And Neptune is the mystic, and it's subtitled The Mystic, and it's like the total opposite of Mars. And so what it is, it's very, very chill, very calming. It's like you're looking out into outer space beyond the solar system and dreaming, what could that hold? What is the potential out there? And you're gonna, there's even a female chorus. They don't sing a word. You just kind of hear them humming or vocalizing in the background. And it kind of lets you kind of feel mystical, laid back, kind of dreamy, okay? And that's how it's going to end. So I will give you that, where to go in the recording to find Neptune. Final, let's see, I think that takes care of everything from the planets, except to say, I hope that you find bits and pieces of it that you like, just as much as I enjoy it. Again, my two favorite movements is Jupiter and Mars. And maybe you'll find that to be the case too. Who knows? But if you see me, or if you have mom or dad send me an email and tell me what your favorite part was, that would be great. So let's move on to recorder now. It has been since March 31st since I gave you a recorder assignment, or that we even talked about it. And if you had your book, I had asked you on that, if you watched March 31st video, I said go online and check into online and play along there, because it's so much more fun to play with the online version. And I left you with the assignment to play Chi-Chi-Cha-Cha, which was really fun, and also to work on the Confused Composer. If you played it from the first measure all the way to the last measure, it sounded different, weird, not great. But if you played it from the last measure to the first measure, in other words, backwards, you would hear something that you're going to recognize right away. So I hope you did that, and I hope you had fun with that. I also hope that perhaps you went on, because you didn't have to wait for me to tell you. You could go on to the next page, page 20, where there's Rest Test and Mexican Fiesta. Guess what? You could play that. This week, it's Cinco de Mayo coming up. Actually, I'm recording this on Monday. May the 4th be with you. But this would be appropriate to play this week for Cinco de Mayo, 5th of May. There's also a duet here for you, and you could play that duet with the online version. So you could actually play as a duet. Then, this is where I'm going though, and this is where the excitement continues and begins actually. On the page 21, they teach you a brand new note. They skip F, by the way, but they teach you E. If you notice, G was the second line from the bottom. E is the very bottom line. And if you notice in this recorder over here, I put a line there because this top part is your left hand that we're all used to, you know, your thumb, your first pointer finger, middle finger, and ring finger. And this bottom part was for your right hand, and we haven't had a chance to use it yet. Your right hand, all it was supposed to do was just to stay on the fuzzy. It was just supposed to hover. So this is what we knew. G, A, B, switch to C, lift to D. So that was G. They didn't teach us F, and we're not going to go there right now. But we skipped F and we went down to E. And so now finally, pointer finger and middle finger of your right hand get to go down to E. And you have to make sure your fingers are flat over those holes. So that is E, and it gives you a chance then to play Rain, Rain, Go Away, and some of the other things here, Indian Dance, which are fun to play along with the online version. The next page, page 22, has pretty rainbows, and, you know, after Rain, Rain, Go Away, there's rainbows. things like that. But where I'm really, the most important page is 23. And we're going to go one lower than E. It's this space just below the treble clef. That is D. What do you think we're going to do? We're going to add another finger down, and I'm going to do this again. Here is your top left hand, and here's your bottom right hand. So you're going to use 3 fingers of both hands plus your thumbs. Here is D. And you have to play it really gently, otherwise it squeaks high. So you want to go gentle. And the reason you need to learn how to play D is because, are you ready for this? Drum roll, please. If you go to page 26, go all the way to page 26, on the bottom, there's this thing called Excerpt from Symphony No. 9 by Ludwig van Beethoven. You've heard that name before. And what they're going to do, I'm going to play it for you. I think you're going to recognize it right away. I'm going to pop in my speakers here so you can hear. We're going to turn everything on so it's loud so you can hear it. Otherwise, the speakers don't pick it up. And we're going to get that pretty loud. And there we go. I'm going to play for you. Are you ready? And then you can play with this online, but you've got to learn how to play that low D because it happens once on line 3 of Symphony No. 9. In fact, perhaps I should show you. Should I show you before I play it? Here it is, right there. It's a half note, and you need to be able to play that to play this song. Otherwise, you've got all the other notes that you know how to play. Here we go.
Page 26, excerpt from Symphony No. 9.
It starts on a B.
1, 2, ready, play.
And there you have it. What is it? Joyful, joyful, we adore thee. We know that. That's one of our hymns we've sung. And so it's called Excerpt from Symphony No. 9, but it's Ode to Joy. It has several different titles. And so you'll be able to play that. That's like one of the last things I teach my 4th grade recorder students to do. And I'm leaving that up for you to figure out how to do now that I've shown you how to play a low D. The only fingers not being used now are our pinkies. All right, that's a really long video for this week, but there's one more thing. In the bottom, in the description, I have given you a link for Mrs. Lippert's video of the week. And last time, it was the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra playing Nimrod. Again, one of my favorite pieces. Well, this week we have one of our very own WELS high schools putting together a hymn called Abide With Me. I think you're going to recognize this one as well. It's beautiful. St. Croix Lutheran Academy Band up near Minneapolis, St. Paul, their band director had each of their students record separately at their homes their part for Abide With Me. He then took all of the recorded parts, melded them together in the computer, and it sounds like a full band sound for this beautiful piece of music. So that your family, probably your entire family, probably would enjoy listening to it. So if you're hearing and doing this video by yourself, show it to your parents, and they might have fun listening to it and sharing it with your rest of your family. So I think that's it today. We have one more video left at the very last week of school. I will visit with you just one more time. In the meantime, Enjoy listening to the planets, learning how to play D and playing Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee, and enjoy just the music whenever you can get it. Take care. Have a good 2 weeks.